These leaves. I've been in this box for just a few days since a few days ago when I was smashing those veins. This leaf did not get its veins smashed. It was from an earlier thing, and you can see it kind of dried on the edges, but not at all like down the middle where that midrib is. So it's kind of like uneven, across the thing. So, but anyway, that was one of the older leaves. But I just had to show you these because they're so beautiful. The way the veins are now. I'm just going to uncover these one at a time and check them out. How they're kind of like really nice and kind of evenly with those really distinct vein markings. Whoa, yeah, check that. Check that. That is so cool. Just for laying in the paper towels. Paper towel's a little moist. If I laid them all out and let them dry for like an hour or so, it would take a lot of the water out. But I'm liking really just watching them do what they're doing in here, staying kind of moist in here. They don't really rot and mold. I mean, that's just the change in colors of the thing. It's beautiful. So I mean, it's kind of, ooh yeah, check that. And is that like, it's like psychedelic, like fractals or like. Check this. I just wanted to. So they're doing their thing. They're doing their dry. They're slow dry but not dry. This is like the only mold I seem to get. Look, I get that stuff on some of those older paper towels, but it's not like all over the leaves or anything. So I just I kept using it anyway just to see what would do with it. It didn't seem to hurt anything. That's see how it's kind of like pretty much nice and even. Those veins are all flattened out like that. It's kind of blackened in the middle there too on that vein where. So. Love the system so far. That one got snapped in the middle, or I cut it. That's where I cut it with the knife when I was slicing the vein, and I cut into the leaf. I try not to do that when I was slicing that. You know what I was thinking though? Might not even need to slice those veins off. Since I'm rolling them out, right? Anyway, since I'm rolling them out, I'm wondering if I could just like roll the hell out of it, and forget about slicing the vein off of there. It does take some of the, that fibrous material, the stems. It's kind of stemmy. You get those veins. Those little ones, they look really pretty like that. That's interesting. They're also different. They would come from different parts of the plant. You get the lower leaves and the leaves that were starting to, the bottom leaves, and they were starting to yellow a tiny bit anyway on the plant. As soon as I see them starting to lose any color, like it's time to get them off of the plant. And those are, yeah, nice like that. So. Anyway, that's just a couple days in the box. Couple days in the box with each other, keeping each other nice and moist and things. We'll just kind of keep an eye on them, see what they do. I get a wild hair tomorrow or something, I might go ahead and just lay them out. Let them dry a little bit, and then put them back in there. Put them back in their little cozy little box. But they're doing fine in there for where they're at just now. And that one, what happened with that? I got too quick with that one. But there, we get it all rescued here. That one and that one, and there. Y'all can just get tucked in there. Little tiny thing. I save little pieces too, and tuck them back in, say goodnight, put them away. But the other thing that was going on, man, this kombucha, the prickly pear kombucha, and this one here I made with brown tea, but it's got something weird going on there with that SCOBY. You see, it's got its own SCOBY growing on top. You probably can barely see it, that it grew just since I mixed it all up in here. But the original one that I threw in there, a little one, that I grew from, I just bought a kombucha and put half of it in a little jar and let it sit around until it grew that thing that little white thing that's in there. It grew it on the top of the jar, and I just threw it in here. And that liquid from that kombucha jar, I just let it sit around for about 4 days, and it'll grow that little mother, and then I can throw that mother in here, that little SCOBY into here. But what it's doing though, it's like bubbling up from the bottom because it's kind of carbonated now. And that SCOBY will move around. I don't know if it's gonna, it's weird. It'll gather up these bubbles from the bottom that are bubbling up from the bottom of that that container. And then, this camera is not the greatest for this, but, and then it'll release its bubbles and it'll kind of swim back down. So it's weird, it's kind of lifting up and moving around and going up and down, and even moves in away from the edge of the glass into the jar and floats around in there. It's just like a little watercraft or something. But it was, it was these prickly pear juicings that I had done, through the juicer, and then it came up with this. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, man. This finished kombucha from the last. It's got this ruby, just ruby, and a sparkle thing. Taste is like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's really wonderful stuff. And it's got that that stuff in it that flavonoids and whatever all that good stuff is. It helps help you to digest your sugar right. And then we got the banana peels going on, fermenting in there, because I'll keep throwing them in there and adding, clean water, filling it up and adding more bananas, and then I'll be able to take that liquid and put it a cup into a gallon of water. Put a cup of that fermented banana water, just from snipping up the leaves and dropping them in there. You put a cup of that into a gallon of water and water your plants with it, like tomatoes or tobacco, whatever. If you want them to bloom, like big, beautiful blooms, that banana water does it. And this was the solar thing that, I put that Mylar on the outside of that jar. And that, works better that way. That kombucha tube over there, it's big, it's about a 5-inch diameter, and this is a 3-gallon. It was one of these dispenser jars, but I got it at the thrift store for, just a few dollars because it was, special color off day. But I could put that kombucha tube down in here, right? Set it out in the sun, tilt it just a little bit, and it cooked that. It cooked that kombucha, kind of get it going. That was before I put the culture in though, just to kind of cook that tea and all of that stuff from the prickly pears in the bottom settled down there. It's kind of got the ruby color down here, but then it gets more like, I used the black tea, instead of the green tea for that. But anyway, I do get sidetracked. It's just another day in the life over here. I get, a lot of different things going on. That's a part of being a Gemini, I guess. It seemed like there's never enough. But anyway, thanks for taking a look at what's going on with those tobacco leaves, and I'll keep you tuned in on how that particular crop goes along. That's the first one we ever kind of smashed out like that. Then we got to do the next batch, just smashing them without cutting that stuff off. That'll be cool.